Hello and welcome to TSL Talk for round 13. Today we're joined by Glenorchy forward and midfielder John Bowring. John, thanks very much for joining us.
Not a problem, Brett.
Obviously you got the big clash against Clarence this week at Bellerive on Saturday, and let's be honest, you have a mutual hatred for each other, don't you?
Yeah, I think the hatred's built on respect though. You know, obviously over the years we've had some fantastic clashes with Clarence, and you know, you can't have a hatred unless it's built on respect.
So should we expect fireworks on Saturday?
I think you can always expect fireworks when Glenorchy play Clarence, but you know, if you look in recent years, I don't obviously think there's been the fighting as so much as the hitting the ball hard and going at the ball, man with the ball pretty hard. So yeah, expect fireworks early, but I think it'll be just another Clarence Glenorchy game.
Last two times you've played Clarence this season, they've had pretty comfortable wins. So what's the area that you're focusing on that you have to make up that difference?
Look, they're obviously the best side in the competition and a very classy side. So, you know, I think tomorrow or Saturday we really need to lock down and try and stop their free-flowing game. You know, obviously their style of footy is very much an AFL style of footy where they get the ball and they run and they use their skills. So, you know, if we can lock a few of them down and make it real tight pressure footy, anything can happen on the day. And
you're coming in on the back of 3 straight wins. Are you back now?
I wouldn't say we're back, but we're playing a bit more consistent footy than we were at the start of the year. I think at the start of the year we were very hot and cold and we struggled to put quarters of footy together, but now we're just starting to get in a process of actually putting some good footy together.
Their injuries are starting to take their toll on Clarence. The likes of obviously Brett Gapen, that's been well publicised. Josh and Adam Green are both out injured after coming back from the Mariners. Trent Whitelaw's out. It looks like Cameron Thurley's in doubt for the game. Are they vulnerable now?
I think any side's vulnerable when you have the probably best 2 players in the state out injured, and the best kid in the state, Josh Green. I actually think he's the X factor for Clarence. I think he's an outstanding kid, and you know, having him missing for 8 weeks may hurt them. But obviously with Budgie and Thurls, you know, they're the best 2 players, and having them out, I think, makes them vulnerable. Whether or not they're beatable is another question, because they're obviously a great unit and they play very good football.
We've heard reports today that Ben Setchell looks like he's making his comeback after retiring at the end of last season. Are you expecting him to play? And if so, what kind of role do you think he will play, given it'll be his first game back?
Yeah, we're expecting Ben to play. Obviously, it was publicised in today's paper that he'd be playing, and knowing Ben and what he's about, he'd be super fit. You know, the conditioning of the bloke's never changed. He turned up pre-season and outran them all in a fun run. So, you know, I expect Ben to turn up, play on ball, and you know, rack up his 30 touches for the next 8 weeks if he continues playing after Saturday.
You've got some big inclusions yourself. Jesse Crouch is back, your captain, and David O'Gary, plus the guys from the Mariners. How crucial are they going to be?
I think very crucial. You know, any time you get your captain and your leader back, you know, it's going to give the boys a lift. And Dave O'Gary plays a pretty crucial role. You know, he's a lockdown backman who can run off, and bringing the Mariner boys back just gives us a little bit of enthusiasm and a bit of a lift, you know, probably in the time where, you know, June and July where you need it when teams start to get flat. So having the kids back in the team is going to help us.
One player took a little while to find his fleet after coming from the regional league is Michael Darcy, but the last few weeks he's been outstanding for you and been a real focal point.
Yeah, I think so. He's it did take him a little bit of time, but I think in the last 3 weeks he's been jumping at the ball and marking really strongly and just providing a real focal point. And having put it, you know, the full forward line, it's helping us, and it gives us a bit more structure. You know, we know the ball's always going to hit the ground if he doesn't mark it. So yeah, he's been really good the last 3 weeks.
And Jade Hodge switching from defence to centre forward, and he's been exceptional there.
He's a good swing man, Hodgie. Yeah. That's the good thing about Hodgie. He can play back or he can play forward, and you know, he's gone forward the last couple of weeks and kicked 7 or 8 goals just as a centre half forward and as a lead up. So you know, what we get with Hodgie's, we know we're going to get a real competitor and someone, if need be, we can chuck back on a key forward as well.
Right, now to get your tips for the rest of the games in round 13. On Saturday, North Launceston at home to Burnie. Burnie defied a lot of critics this year and doing very well.
They certainly have. They're a very young team, and I think their problem was the same as us early, consistency. You know, moulding a new team together is hard, but at Aurora, I think North Launceston is going to be a bit hard to beat.
Devonport, after winning 7 in a row, dropped the last couple now, especially last week to Burnie, which they would have hated. They're at home to Hobart, which is also in a bit of a form slump at the moment.
Yeah, I think Devonport will be too strong at Devonport, but you know, thinking about last season compared to this season, I think Devonport did the same thing. You know, they lost early games, then they strung a lot together, then they lost a few on the back end before stringing a few together for finals. So whether or not they're there and they're doing the same thing as last year, but yeah, Devonport too strong.
On Sunday, last place Lauderdale at home to North Hobart. North Hobart coming off a massive win last week, and you obviously had a very comfortable win over Lauderdale yourselves last week.
Yeah, I think North Hobart just down at Lauderdale. Lauderdale seem to find an extra leg when they play down there, and they've got some good inclusions this week with their Mariner boys back. But yeah, North Hobart a bit too good for Lauderdale.
And the last game on the Sunday, South Lonnie v Lonnie. Lonnie, probably arguably the form team at the moment in the competition.
Behind Clarence?
Yep.
Yeah, they are. But yeah, they'll be too strong for South Launceston. Very good team. A lot of very good players starting to hit form for Launceston, and yeah, watch for them in the back half of the year.
All right, John, well, thanks very much for joining us on TSL Talk, and for all your previews and stories, pick up your copy of The Mercury or go to The Mercury online.